that. And you can use a personal experience. So if you're someone that has a car, so you bought a personal car. Now, the one accountant said, oh, the lifespan of this car will be 3 years, right? Now, the main usefulness of that vehicle is to take it from your house to your what? To your office, right? Now, before I continue my story, it's not always a good practice, a good thing for a business to have no, especially non-current, a no value non-current asset in their balance sheets. Because always remember, the first value of of a business can first be seen in their assets. Which means if I want to sell this company today, what makes up the whole company is the both non-current assets that especially your non-current asset that you have. So we are saying, hey, my business is worth nothing. So which is not a good thing. I see modelers build models and you see at the end of year 5, nothing. Right. And remember, this is the vehicle you'll be using to supply to supply to supply. So basically what you are saying is by the end of year 4, that vehicle will not be able to supply as much as it ought to supply. And here you are saying your revenue is increasing significantly. So you need to think about it. All right. Now, the vehicle, they said it's going to use 3 years. Now, use it in year 1. You keep maintaining it, right? You maintain the car, get the fuel, get the gas, maintain, change the oil in good shape. Change the tire anytime needed. Year 2, you do the same thing repeatedly, keeping the car in what? Best shape, so that it's able, anytime you need it, take it from your house to your office, it's doing it. Then in year 4, in year 3, the car is still in its good shape, right? Now, does that mean after that year 3, you should just take that car and throw it away or go and sell it? Because someone said, oh, it's just 3 years, after 3 years, you should just forget. No. Which means the car can still be useful beyond that period. Now, all those expenses that you are incurring to making sure that yes, this vehicle is in good shape, we call those one either maintainable capex, or incremental capex. Incremental capex. So which means, and a very good analogy that I usually do. So I have one asset that is worth let's say 500 million today, right? I'm using that asset to be able to generate almost, so okay, but let me just use actual value. So 5,000, right? Asset value, and I'm using that asset to generate a revenue of, let's say, a 150,000, right? Now, here this period, I'm saying my revenue will grow by, let's say, 15%. So basically, what I'm saying is equal to this multiplied by what? 1 plus this 15%. I have this. Now, but here I am. I'm saying, oh, you know what? So let's look at the assets turnover. I think that should be that be assets to revenue, right? Assets to revenue or revenue to assets? Which one? Okay, so I think it's supposed to be assets to revenue. So this is too huge. Maybe I should just reduce this to 50,000 so that give us something. Okay, yeah. So 0.1 times. So which means for me to be able to maintain this same level of output, because what I'm saying is, so let's assume I'm saying, oh, this period my asset has dropped to 4,000, right? Basically, the story I'm creating here is this: that there's no way this asset can even be able to produce that 5,000 in year 1. Talk less of it now increasing by 15% in year 2. So which means for me to be able to keep up with this 0.1 asset use, right, I need to also do what in year 2, because I'm saying and a vehicle will be going 20 kilometer, right? Then the next year I'm saying this asset will be going 35 kilometer, right? But I'm still saying the whole expense I incur when it was going to 20 will still be what I will keep up. No, or I'm even saying it will be lesser. It does not work like, and that's how a typical business operates. So, which means the business also needs to incur what? Almost that percent to keep up with this 0.1. And if you meet a good investors, those are more like financial due diligence that we look at whenever we look at your model, because it definitely need more for you to achieve more. So if let's even say, okay, you know what, maybe it's not 15%, maybe you just want to increase the asset by 10%. So we are saying maybe year one at least, the asset was not up, we're not using it up to its capacity, right? So maybe 10%, or maybe even 5%. So we are saying maybe in year one we didn't even use it up to the what to we didn't use up to the capacity. But the truth is, you cannot say revenue is increasing significantly and your assets which you are using in producing, in generating that revenue, making use of your finished product is decreasing, right? So I hope you understand that. So now let's come in here and let's make provision for that maintainable or incremental capex, right? So there are different factors you can consider here, but for this one, let's just keep it. Let's just keep it flat, right? You can also use percent of revenue. You can use factor of previous period depreciation, right? Which I think I might want to do, or we use actual value. So it depends. There are different methods. Maybe I might record another video to show us different methods. But for this one, let's assume, so if the asset is depreciating by 3,000, let's make provision of almost half of it through the forecast period, right? So which means this my new capex. In fact, I can add this and call this incremental capex, but let's just add it together. So the actual initial purchase plus the maintainable capex, and look at what this gives us. So right, so okay, so this, let me just, so equal to, let me just sum this directly from here so that we know that the initial one. So which means, at least, yes, we're not saying the asset will not depreciate. And if you look at a financial statement of typical corporate organization, most times their assets, yes, at times they have a downward trend, but it's not as much as we used to. All right. So with this one, I feel this is reasonable, because this is just a single asset. So which means you can have multiple assets, and maybe in year 3, you might want to even incur more because your revenue is growing significantly. But the truth is, you are modeling the reality part of the business, and you can see your financial statements, right? Everything balance, and that's how we treat it. So it's very important for you to understand, and that's one of the reasons why you cannot build a model and in year one you will see that there's a capex, and in other years there's nothing. That's not possible. Even for our fintech business, right, our tech guys, even in their own business operation where they make use of software platform and the whole thing, the truth is, a platform that can host 1 million it's not the same with a platform that can hold 10 million users. So it means as you grow, you also need to do what those expansionary costs and all those things, and must be modeled and treated appropriately as a modeler. So yes, thank you. This is where we're going to stop with our depreciation in financial modeling. Right. I think I spelled my depreciation wrongly, but just make correction over there. All right. So thank you everyone once again. My name is Victor Ogundele, and I hope you enjoyed this video.